Okay, let's talk about your most valuable asset in real estate. And no, it's not a hot listing. It's your time. You know it, I know it. Wasting that time on leads that go nowhere is just the fastest way to burn out. So in this explainer, we are going to break down the PRO framework for profiling the ideal buyer. The goal? Stop chasing dead ends and start closing more deals.
So, you get that notification, right? A new email, a new text, a new prospect is interested in one of your properties. You feel that little jolt of excitement, but right behind it is that big looming question. Is this person for real? Are they a serious buyer? Or are you about to spend the next few weeks on a wild goose chase?
And this, right here, is where the pros separate themselves from the amateurs. It's not about being pushy or aggressive. It's about being precise. The whole point is to efficiently qualify every single prospect so you can pour your time and energy where it actually counts, with clients who are ready and able to buy.
From that very first hello, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to identify one thing above all else: their viability. And no, this isn't about just trusting your gut. There's an actual proven professional framework for this that turns all that guesswork into a real strategic assessment.
Yeah, and this framework isn't just some collection of good ideas somebody wrote in a blog post. It's pulled directly from the ECO 1110.02 certification. You know, the official playbook for top-tier real estate advisors. So we're not just sharing tips here, we're breaking down the industry's own gold standard.
So, what do we really mean when we say viability? It's simple, really. It's the likelihood that a prospective buyer can actually complete the purchase. See the difference? It's not just about how much they want the house, it's about whether they have the ability to buy it.
And get this isn't just a friendly suggestion, it's a professional mandate. The standard, specifically what's known as Performance Standard 8, or D8, puts it in black and white. Your job is to obtain general information to identify the viability of the prospective buyer. So, let's talk about how you actually do that. Okay, so how do you put that into practice? Well, lucky for us, the standard gives us a super clear 3-step process for qualifying any prospect and doing it efficiently and professionally. It all boils down to these 3 stages. First, a professional introduction. Second, you got to do a deep dive into what they actually need. And third, you ask the single most important filter question. Let's look at each one.
All right, step 1. This might seem really basic, but I'm telling you, it is so important. A formal professional introduction from the jump sets the entire tone for the relationship. It immediately tells them you're a credible expert and starts building that trust you absolutely need for a huge transaction like this.
Now, once you've laid that groundwork of trust, you move to step 2, the investigation. This is where you put on your detective hat. You ask detailed questions. What are their non-negotiables? What are their preferences? What are they really looking for in their next home? This shows you're there to find their perfect property, not just to sell a property.
And that, my friends, brings us to step 3, the moment of truth. This is the one question that separates the window shoppers from the real deal buyers. You have to always ask about their potential method of payment.
This right here is the absolute heart of qualifying a buyer, their financial capacity. Seriously, understanding how they plan to pay for the property isn't just some small detail, it's the key that unlocks the entire deal. Everything else you've discussed, well, it all hinges on the answer to this one question.
And their answer is probably going to fall into one of a few buckets, right? Are they looking for a traditional bank loan? Maybe they're using a government program like Infonavit. Or hey, maybe they have their own cash. Each one of those paths requires a totally different strategy from you.
And this really gets to the core of why you're asking. It's not about being nosy or intrusive. It's about being an effective professional. Because let's face it, if you don't know their financial capacity, there's no way you can give them the expert, tailored advice they actually deserve. You're just flying blind.
You know, when you master this process, it does so much more than just save you time. It completely elevates your game. You stop being just an agent who shows houses, and you become a genuinely trusted advisor.
So, if you take one thing away from all of this, let it be this. Properly qualifying a client isn't some hurdle you make them jump over. It is the very first step. It's the foundation for providing excellent top-level service. Every single successful deal is built right on top of it. By building this professional standard right into how you work, you're not just going to close more deals, you're going to build a rock-solid reputation for excellence. You're going to be seen as prepared, professional, and efficient. So the only question left is,
Are you ready to guide your next viable client all the way to their new home?